Paltrocast.
I'm going to say good afternoon. Do I have the time zones correct?
Yeah, it's one here, so we're solid.
Got it. And you've got the Bucky's mug. Is that an endorsement or is that just a personal preference?
It's just a personal preference. They're not paying me, but I adore Bucky's, so they can get all the free promo they want out of me.
Are there any endorsements or active product tie-ins that we should know of for you right now?
I'm not really properly endorsed by anything now. I mean, I the closest thing I guess would be Country Star, the greatest mobile app in the world, because they have a few of my songs on there. But apart from that, no one's given me free things, sadly.
Yet.
Yet.
There you go. So speaking of free things, I got your album for free because, I'm in the business and all that. But congrats on Southern Galactic. So when did you actually finish recording it?
Thank you. We recorded it in May. I went down to Texas, where Titanic Sinclair, the gentleman who produced the album, he lives down there, and we had like 3 weeks set aside to record everything, and we got everything done in like 10 weeks or in 10 days, excuse me. And apart from that, there were a few minor things we did over the next month, just kind of remotely, but it was pretty much done when I left Texas. So it was a very quick one.
And Titanic, from what I have read, is based in San Antonio. Is that a city you'd spend much time in?
Not a ton. I mean, I've got to roll through Texas a few times, but like it's always for a show or a tour or whatever. So I haven't really got to get out and gallivant as much as I'd like. So this time I did get to spend some time in the city and the Riverwalk and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, San Antonio is a beautiful, beautiful place, and got some really good food down there too. So I wasn't complaining.
Right. Some people, one of my theories that I talk about with my wife a lot is anytime you see an Adam Sandler movie, it's always in a new city that maybe he didn't go to before because he got somebody to pay for his vacation. So, future idea, your next album, you go, I think we should record in Paris.
Yeah, we really need to record this one in Bali. Yeah, no, I think so. We might need a Bucky sponsorship if I'm going to do something like that, but I'm down.
There you go. So was it an easy album to make? The reason I asked that is because 10 days is not exactly a relaxed vibe. That means we're cutting more than one song every day.
Yeah, I think if we had gone into it saying we have to have this done in 10 days, it wouldn't have been a relaxed vibe. I think the just how quick we got everything is sort of a direct result of how relaxed it was. We were really just having fun, and it wasn't like, oh, we need to get this many songs done. It was like, well, we're done. You want to do another one? Like, we're here. So it was the most laid back environment that I've ever recorded in, probably.
So when did you move from Georgia to Nashville?
I moved here. I want to say end of 2018, I think. So I've been here a little over 5 years now, and yeah, it's been cool. Apart from living here, I lived with my parents, so it's kind of living here just let me be my own man, so to speak. So it's been good.
So when you started to leave Georgia, that's when all the entertainment companies started coming into Georgia.
Exactly. Yeah, they were waiting for me to go.
Well, I say that because when I was a kid, many, many, many years ago, you had to live in New York or Los Angeles to make it in entertainment. And now you could go, I'm going to move to the big city. I'm going to move to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And there's more studios there, there's more record companies there, et cetera, than ever. So when you moved to Nashville, was it because it's Music City, USA?
Yeah, I think like I grew up like an hour and a half outside of Atlanta. And the first project I did post Idol was with Christian Bush, and we recorded that in Decatur. But apart from that, there's really not like a country music scene in Atlanta. And I think moving here was just the natural thing. All the people I love and work with, and they were all here, so it just kind of made a lot of sense. And it sort of happened as a happy accident, really. I'd been thinking about it, but just really didn't want to leave my parents' house because it's pretty sweet to be living with my parents. And no, it was a buddy of mine was moving around the same time, and just kind of came together fairly quickly.
Got it. So they keep pegging you as a country artist, but listening to your music, there's other genres on display. Are you okay with being a country artist?
Yeah, I think really like I think it's almost a point of pride, to not label this as like alternative or alt country or whatever Americana. I think country music historically is filled with people who kind of push the lines of the genre and of expectations, whether it's like Waylon Jennings or Willie Nelson, or I mean even like Hank Jr. These people who take what country music is and then they put their own twist to it. And pretty much all those people were met with some form of resistance, but they did it until it became the new standard. And I think country music as a whole is already being pushed in non-traditional country ways, but I think it can get a little monotonous with how folks do it. So I think it was really important to me to make a country record,
Mhm.
but put it into a space that maybe isn't currently as occupied.
Got it. One of the things I'm seeing these days in country music is it's really just 80s metal influenced. You hear
Mhm.
a lot of Bon Jovi, Van Halen, Rat, etc. Now you're a young gentleman. So obviously those are oldies to you, whereas that was like early childhood for me. Was there any 80s metal influence in you personally?
Yeah, I mean, my mom is an '80s hair metal fanatic, like Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, all that kind of stuff. So I grew up with a lot of that. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Like the country music is nowadays, especially so like dad rock. I feel like has had such a comeback in country
Yeah,
music. I think it's part of the reason right now there's like a cultural renaissance of Creed and Nickelback and people going like, oh,
totally.
why'd we make fun of this? This is incredible. It's like, yeah, but also, a lot of people are kind of doing that and it is great. But like so much of like I love Hardy. And I think so much of
Oh,
Hardy, like that's,
okay, I got to interrupt you right there. So
yeah,
somebody gave me comp tickets 2 summers ago to a Jason Aldean show because he was promoting his whiskey and they wanted me to write about the whiskey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Hardy was the opening act. And at first, I'm not a country guy. Growing up on Long Island, New York, we didn't have a country station until like 5 years ago. So I'm, going, I wish this was hard rock. I wish this was hard rock. And then Hardy starts covering a Puddle of Mud song, and the whole crowd starts singing. You go, wow, the country audience is maybe the most open-minded of any audience out there. There's
yeah.
no barriers to what music they listen to. It's like what you're saying right now.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting. To me, it's like country and hip hop are very similar in that people who don't listen to it think they know exactly what it is. Everyone who doesn't listen to rap's like, oh, it's all about like drugs and violence and sex and gang stuff. And everyone who doesn't listen to country is just like, oh, it's just trucks and beer and dirt
Your
roads.
dog died and
Yeah.
your wife left you.
And to be fair, a lot of those cliches are very true.
Yeah.
But I think country especially just gets kind of a bad rap because I think historically it's one of the genres that had some of the most important kind of barrier breaking genre blending moments, and that's one of the things that excites me the most about country music.
So you are a rock person that got into country or a country person that just got into everything?
I'm a country person that got into everything. Yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of like country and songwriter stuff, and then got into rock, and then got into punk, and then got into metal, and then in high school got into hip hop. And um, no, my playlist is stupid. I'm a big like
Not stupid. Good.
my like my playlist. I probably listen to more like late '90s, early 2000s, like pop punk and emo and that
Same
kind of,
here, man.
more than anything.
Yeah.
I love playing like a country show and wearing a say anything shirt or Taking Back Sunday or something like that.
Totally. Yeah. I got to go to some of the earliest Taking Back Sunday shows due to my age, like when you're watching them playing in a VFW hall. And
Yeah,
I had no idea that that was going to be generation shaping music. It's just like that's a guy whining. But
yeah,
you fast forward 20 years and go, that means a lot to a lot of people. So I think that you don't really know what's going to stand the test of time. Hardy, I think Hardy is the next Kid Rock. And I don't mean ideology, I mean in terms of the genre melding. I hear your stuff and I go, I can see that relating to people really long term. So, what are we really right about when we say at the time this stinks? What you said before about Creed, they just announced their big summer tour for this coming summer, probably the biggest venues they've ever played.
yeah. And wouldn't Three Doors Down opening that? Yeah, that's going to be an incredible show. Yeah, I think like I used to, especially like in high school, middle school, I used to think I knew like everything and knew what was good and what's bad and what people should and shouldn't listen to. And I'm really at a point where I don't have and many opinions about things, not even as a cop out, just like, oh, people like this. This is someone's favorite song. So even if it's not for me, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this sucks. And it's funny how many things come out and initially people are like, this is the worst thing ever. And then it does become like a classic, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, Rolling Stone hated Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, and the reviews that we see now are not the original ones that ran.
Oh
So
yeah.
always have to keep that in mind. So hey, back to you. It's really interesting to hear about your influences because obviously that's not what you were singing on Idol.
Yeah.
It gives me the vibe that maybe some of those songs on Idol that was the first time you ever sang or really got to know some of those songs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean that environment, especially towards the end, is like, here's the theme, what are you singing? And like
What
I'm
publishing did we clear this week?
Yeah, exactly. But they're like, what's your favorite song from, like, we did a year of birth, and they're like, what's your favorite 1999 song? And I'm like, let me look it up. I ended up singing Lone Star,
Yeah.
which was great. But yeah, it's definitely, you just got to learn to roll with the punches.
Yeah. Well, hey, two questions for you, and then I let you go. And the first one is the name that shows on the screen right now doesn't have Lee in there. And we know you as Caleb Lee Hutchinson. How much of David Lee Roth influence is there when you pull out the Lee?
It's really more my mother's influence, with all respect to David. My mom is a Lee, but she's a Leigh. So I have the masculine spelling of my mother's name, and it's a big point of pride. My mom's the strongest person I know. So and also, like, they gave me the full name. Why not use it all?
I didn't know if there was another person in SAG-AFTRA already named Caleb Hutchinson, and you're like, okay, got a Caleb L. What am I here? None of that.
No, no. I mean, I started playing like out when I was 11, 12, and they're like, "What's your name?" And I just told them my government name, and it's just been what it is.
There you go. And my last question, because I brought up concerts like 7 times in 15 minutes here. What's the last concert that you went to for fun? Not because you were opening for someone or going to pop up on stage or anything like that. You went, I'm a fan. I'm getting a ticket. I'm going.
Oh, I've seen some cool ones recently. I'll give you my last three because they're really diverse. I think it's
Sure.
cool. I saw Men I Trust a year ago, and that was like my first like indie pop show. It was super fun. And then I saw Wetzel. I love Wetzel. How do you talk about like dad rock and country without bringing up he's the guy. And then I saw Youngblood a few months back as well. So I love like going to shows that I'm fortunate enough I get the opportunity to see like really cool country shows. But I think like because my mind is so in that world, it's hard for me to really enjoy it because I'm just sitting taking notes. And I'm like, oh, they transitioned from this song to this song, they did it this way, and he talked this much. So it's cool to like get to see a different genre and just like a different approach. Um, my first concert I ever saw was the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And so like I'm a nerd about live shows that I don't fully understand. It's fun.
Well, it's weird to say, but you're an industry veteran before the age of 25.
Yeah, I'm old, man. I'm ancient.
Paltrocast.